not, they're not new to our country. They're old to our country. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here, too. You want to know the truth. So maybe that'll be the next job that we'll work on together. But I think getting them out, you know, we forget about them. We had some bad accidents in New York. They're not accidents. I will be deporting all the Ghanaians who are living in my country, even if you have a green card. America is not your father's house, and I will make sure Nana Akufo-Addo is arrested for destroying Ghana economy.
Let me tell you, black people love Trump. I got the biggest vote. I got the biggest vote with black people. They know a scam better than anybody. They know what it is to be scammed.
If Trump snatch up, say, 100 African Americans and deport them to Sudan or Libya or Nicaragua or El Salvador or wherever, those people are gone. They're out of the country. They're God knows wherever. And so let's say one of their family members file a lawsuit on their behalf. And let's say they successfully get an injunction from the judge. Well, it used to be, before this case, that the judge could say, basically, you got to return all 100 of these African Americans because you unlawfully deported them. But now, with this case, the judge could only say you got to bring that one person back. And the other 99, although it's unlawful, he cannot prohibit that unless they do a class action lawsuit. And class action lawsuits can take months, if not years, to get certified. So those other 99 African-American people could be over there lingering, rotten in some jail or whatever, while their cases matriculates through the court system. It's almost like saying you can't kill that man after you done shot him. Listen, this court case essentially said to judges, you cannot issue nationwide injunctions except for certified class action lawsuits, even if what he is doing is unlawful. So if you phrase the question this way, can Trump lawfully deport African Americans? The answer is clearly no. But that's not the question. The question is, can he deport African Americans even if it's unlawful? The answer to that question is yes, because there's nobody to stop him anymore. All right? I want that to be clear. This is not just about immigrants. This is not just about Latinos. This case went far beyond immigration. I hope I'm making this clear. This is not just about immigrants. This is not just about Latino immigrants. This case went far beyond immigration. It basically, at this point, jeopardizes all of our rights. All of them. Now, I'm going to take you to the case and I'm going to show you that. So Amy Coney Barrett, Justice Barrett, wrote the case for the majority. And she said that judges could no longer issue nationwide injunctions, even if what Trump is doing is unlawful. You may say, wow, really? Yes.
Let me tell you, black people love Trump. I got the biggest vote. I got the biggest vote with black people. They know a scam better than anybody. They know what it is to be scammed.
I've had enough. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. Deport them all. This is our country. We get to decide who comes in, and we get to decide who has to leave. And I say deport them all. 90% that have come into this country are from third world countries, most of which are sucking resources from American citizens, burdening our cities. They do not belong here.
Let me tell you, black people love Trump. I got the biggest vote. I got the biggest vote with black people. They know a scam better than anybody. They know what it is to be scammed.
Another day, another huge headline-grabbing proposal from Reform, complete with shiny brochure, because Reform are turning their attention away from illegal migration to those who are here entirely legally with what's called indefinite leave to remain. Reform are saying they would abolish that entirely and replace it with rolling work visas, which you'd have to reapply for every 5 years. And crucially, this would apply retrospectively, so those who have been here for years, entirely legally, could be rounded up and deported. I listened to Nigel Farage lay all of this out, as you say, and he claims that this is needed because of the huge surge in post-Brexit immigration that happened under Boris Johnson.
The anticipated cost of the 800,000 plus who will qualify for indefinite leave to remain over the course of the next 3 to 4 years, the anticipated cost of this group of people is a staggering £230 billion. It is absolutely an eye-watering sum of money.
Now, that figure itself is highly disputed. Even the think tank that came up with it has withdrawn it. And Nigel Farage did have to clarify today that EU citizens who were given the right to settle here after Brexit would be exempt from this. It's fair to say the finer details of all of this are pretty vague, but a policy like this, if enacted, would certainly have a huge impact on sectors like hospitality and social care, and it may well also test the British idea of fair play.
I've had enough. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. Deport them all. This is our country. We get to decide who comes in, and we get to decide who has to leave. And I say deport them all. 90% that have come into this country are from third world countries, most of which are sucking resources from American citizens, burdening our cities. They do not belong here.
Let's deal with the main objective of today's press conference. It's to wake everybody up to the Boris wave. It's to wake everybody up to the sheer irresponsibility of the last government and the massive impending cost that will have on this country for decades and decades to come. That is the primary reason that we're sitting here talking with you today. Yes, it is true. There are those here on indefinite leave to remain that are living on benefits. Will we be free from legal challenges? Well, of course, having cut out the Human Rights Act, the European Court in Strasbourg, British courts will be free to make judgments that are the right judgments, which they're not at the moment. We are not for a minute pretending that going back through the backlog is going to be an easy thing to do. It'll be complex, it'll come in many forms, but we do intend to address.
So you may have heard that the British version of ICE now not only has an official TikTok page, but now has the backing of Nigel Farage alongside the entirety of the Reform UK party. And that is because even Nigel Farage himself has said that if he were to become Prime Minister, he would be looking to replicate exactly what's happening in America over here in the UK. You see, Reform UK has just laid out a plan to detain and deport thousands of people entering the UK of whom they believe to be illegal. But as online documentaries and reporting has shown, that's not always too obvious, is it? Now, this new proposal is what Reform UK are calling the Operation Restoring Justice, as it would see illegal migrants arrested upon arrival, detained and deported, alongside an overall increase in enforcement activity in the UK, of which is very similar in purpose to ICE operations in the US. Now, Reform UK have already stated that they will push for immediate detention of anyone who they think is arriving illegally, of which goes even further than current UK practices of deporting and detaining without any legal safeguards or human rights protections in place. Under their own protocols, they say that people will be detained and deported and never ever allowed to stay.
Hear me sing this song.